Welcome back to PC Chop Shop. This is episode 4 of the series and we'll be picking up from where we left off. So far I've replaced the crusty thermal paste and got the internals in a new case, but I ran into clearance issues with the current cooler being a bit too tall. In this episode I'll be swapping out the cooler for a smaller one and sorting out the RAM. It is a bit of a headache that the cooler doesn't fit, but not to worry. I won't have to completely take out the motherboard. I could just take off the cooler using the access panel in the back side of the case and then just swap in a smaller cooler. Same as last time, unscrewing until the heatsink comes off. And that's what that should look like. I'll clean off this thermal paste here. Luckily I've got a massive syringe of the stuff. Nice, so now it's ready for a new cooler. So this cooler I got off AliExpress for £4.79, which is super cheap, so I don't really expect much. This thing is tiny. It also weighs almost nothing, like it even looks small just resting on my hand. Side by side with the old cooler is an insane comparison. It's just going to have to do for now as it's small enough to fit in the case. I do have another cheap cooler that I got. Alright, this thing is even worse. It doesn't even have any heat pipes either. The old backing plate needs to come off for the new cooler to fit on. The new cooler came with some bits and bobs and I'll need to figure out how to get it to work. So my assumption is that the black pin slides into the clear tube and the clear tubes are what hold the mounting ring itself down. So I put in all 4 clear tubes and I've already buggered it. The tubes need to be inserted into the mounting ring first, otherwise it just won't fit on. Okay, so all 4 corners are in, and to be fair, it does seem pretty solid. Just doing a test fit to see how it works, and it's similar to the stock AM4 mounting methods. I'll give it one last clean before another dosage of thermal paste. Should be alright. And now for the most unsatisfying peel of all time. I actually think it left a sticky residue which I've had enough of, so I'll just give it one last wipe. And now, as you can see, I do this a bit backwards. I install the cooler and then put in the black pins. Doesn't matter anyway, since I screwed up the install and the cooler came right off. And there we go. So as I said earlier, this RAM needs to get sorted out. So I got these a long time ago and I remember them working just fine. So I'm not sure what's going on with them. I got them in a random RAM bundle and had these sticks left over from previous builds. So let's see if I can get them fixed. What I'm doing is I'm cleaning the contacts off with alcohol and a cotton bud and then just slotting the RAM into each slot. That way the RAM is getting cleaned, and if there's any dust in the slot, hopefully the wet RAM should just clean it off. I'll also just brush off the slots to double make sure. Might help if I have it the right way. Okay, looking good. From here I'll install the GPU. This card just doesn't want to fit no matter what I do. I'll take off this backing thing to see if it helps. Yep, it's fixed. Next, it needs to be screwed down properly this time, so no thumb screws here. The 6-pin needs to be plugged in, and there we go. PC is finally ready. Like I said, I'm not a professional at this, so this took me ages. You have to be honest, it's a pretty tidy looking build. It looks great with the side panel on, and because it's glass, it just looks that little bit cleaner. Alright, so I've got it plugged in and I'm ready to go. So I'll flip the switch and no fires or sparks, so it's a good start. Now let's see what happens when I hit the power button. We see signs of life. The RGB fans are going ham. Okay, mini heart attack. Don't know why that happened. Yes, just like that we get a post. This means that the RAM issue has been sorted out. The RGB is going nuts, so let's try and change it. Brilliant. The remote doesn't work. I think the battery might be dead. Luckily the reset switch is wired into the hub. Okay, so let's get into Windows. And there we go, it's fully working, and as you can see the RAM is correct in the task manager. Okay, so that's it for episode 3 of PC Chop Shop. I do apologise for it being such a long episode. In the next episode I'll be adding a few small touches and testing the performance of this PC to see how the cooler stacks up with that CPU. Thank you very much for watching, catch you next time.